Greetings, fellow campers, hunters, explorers, prospectors, desert rats, swamp rats, jungle gyms, and jungle girls. This is by using my Japanese mess kit to make some Japanese food. Let's see how it is going. Still melting. When I get my Amazon store set up, I'll tell you exactly where to find a mess kit like that one. Let me see, is that? Yeah, there it is. I'll be setting up an Amazon store next month, and everything I post about, whatnot, you could find at the store, my recommended equipment list. Serge Velling, we were talking about stoves and whatnot, how he brings a gas stove, a gasoline stove, in case there's a fire ban in his travels. Well, this little rig here I have modified by enlarging one hole. It could take a certain brand of gas stove and a gas cartridge and the attachment, which you take apart the gas stove and just remove the attachment and attach it to this stove. You can get fuel efficiency or whatnot. I believe, let me see, something like an MRS stove he had. I believe the attachment in a canister, or maybe even two canisters, would weigh less than that stove. So it certainly is an improvement over what he was expecting. Okay, where is it here? Okay, here we go. Most of the sites are vintage camping gear and whatnot. Some modern stuff is there, but as far as that goes, I prefer, tin containers. I got my eye on a coffee container. I'm going to be replacing my coffee container with this tin one and whatnot. So here we go. It looks like it's coming along quite nicely. I'm planning on doing something Dutch with my Dutch mess kit. This stainless steel mess kit looks rather like the British mess kit, only it's all stainless steel. And I was looking around the local supermarket and I couldn't find knockwurst. I guess I'll have to use some high quality beef and pork hot dogs for that. It's a recipe I had stuck in a camping book I had ever since I was a kid and whatnot. It was put in between. I can't remember where I found it, but it should prove interesting. What was it? Knockwurst, ground beef burger, or whatever you want to call it, in gravy. That was the recipe. I don't know where it came from, but it was stuck in my old book. Still too cold. By the way, I got this as a war souvenir. It was on Amazon, but the company who made it, I believe the original company, moved to China, and now they're making it as a backpacker's stove. Unlike a backpacker's stove, you have to get a little gripper, whatnot, because there's no fittings on it to lift, except for the bail, to lift the pans or anything like that. Japanese weren't too considerate of their soldiers. This little loop here is not for a handle or anything like that. That's so it could tie on to their knapsack, and I'll post a link as to how complicated their knapsack was. Okay. All right. This should be coming along quite nicely. There's quite a nice Japanese flavor to this meal, whatnot. If I can't find knockwurst again when I go into town, I'll use a Kadam, which is a high quality hot dog around here. Despite the name is not Jewish, but Kadam beef and pork for hot dogs. I'll get some and cook the Dutch meal with that on the Dutch mess kit, which, as I said, looks like the double pan mess kit of the British. Whatnot. I went through exactly how many mess kits I have, and I'll be cooking a meal appropriate to that culture whenever I decide to do another one of these videos and whatnot. I'll also be doing some videos on some tips and whatnot, and a link to my favorite jungle girl, Frances Gifford, who did Nyoka in Jungle. I forget the name it was. It was Frances Gifford. She was going to. She plays Nyoka. Yes, Jungle Girl, Nyoka. And the natives weren't Negroes, but they came from a tribe who wandered down from North Africa. The second Nyoka film starred someone different because Frances had a tendency to drink a little bit too heavy. But in this film, she does all her own stunts, except for the very high dives and the ridiculous things. Her underwater scenes are all her, and things like that. She did a scene where he does a high dive from maybe about 60 feet. I believe that was a stunt woman or stunt man or something like that. But it's a nice serial for its time. Okay, let me see how this is coming along. But in any case, it's a fun movie. It stars as a villainous character, Latimer or something like that. Gerald Moore, who was kind of like, he was a leading man, romantic character in several of his movies. In this one, he plays a villainous character, and later on, he plays other characters. He was big in 50s science fiction and whatnot. Did Angry Red Planet and a couple of other things involving science fiction. Okay. have an alcohol stove placed in the little burner I have here. Whereas you'll take wood pellets, twigs, charcoal briquettes, things like that, and by enlarging a hole, it'll take a gas fitting. Okay. Oh, it's taking a long time to burn, to cook, or to reheat, or whatnot. Ah, it's starting to warm up. Good. Okay, good. It's got some pineapple chunks in it and whatnot. Okay, looks pretty damn good. Oops, pardon me. Okay. Among other things, I came up with some gadgets for camping and whatnot. I'll be doing some videos on those. Some tips and tricks and whatnot. Okay. It's about right. That's about as warm as it's going to get. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, here we go.